This is the Poddy with Serene
and Pearl.
Get it right, Poddy.
All right, Poddy people, get on in here to our living room with fabulous taste in color as couches go with Serene, Pearl, and I'm Danny. And I don't know what today's show is about, and I never know. But guess whose attitude is on point? Me. Welcome.
Yeah, that's what we pay you for, attitude.
Is that what you say when you come down the stairs, or if you don't have stairs in your house? You do have stairs in your house.
I do.
Like when you come down to meet the family, my attitude is on point. Like you pride yourself in it. It is a good part.
Yeah.
Attribute. Good
You know,
attribute.
my daughter
Dan.
the other day, she was at the table out of nowhere. She goes, you know, I love myself. She's 10.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, baby. We should love ourselves. I love myself too. You know, and it's hard to say because we have generations of conditioning to sort of like minimize.
Yeah.
I was raised in the South and everything is like, not you, minimize, you're nothing. Who are you to ever care about yourself at all? And so it was so healthy to have a daughter who I didn't think I've trained to say that, not that I know of, just come out and teach me the ways. A child shall lead them.
I think you have trained her because
Probably.
you have a case of ADD and it's
Hey.
medical.
It's a medical
You've forgotten
condition.
that you have because you're on many podcasts here. You've actually taught. You
Yeah.
brought things that you've told her
Yeah. It's
over and over
true.
again. It's like your self-worth and daddy will love you no matter what and all these things. Recall.
Why are people fascinated to squash their babies?
Well, you know, I just feel like, I mean, I was nursed till 4 or whatever, you know, and all that. So I kind of have a confidence naturally of being super loved.
Wait. Nurse till when?
Oh, about 4 or
For
5.
both
yeah.
if you guys,
That's fine.
those that listen but hate us and you still listen.
Yeah.
There's a reason maybe why we are
Yeah.
so irritating.
If you
were
don't
nursed
want
till you were 4?
irritating
Yes.
children, don't nurse till 4. Okay, but no, but so I had a security, a kind of a self-worth from that, you know, from being very, very loved by really wonderful parents.
Because you're the youngest?
But
She is.
But Christianity though, there can be a twist to it in the wrong way where you can feel like I shouldn't love myself. Oh, I'm nothing, like you said. Oh, I've got, you know, and I agree that we should decrease so that he can increase, right? Get rid of the flesh, get rid of the yucky, puffed up part of ourselves, and shine, you know, him and through our lives. But you know, I really have come to a place in my relationship with Christ where I feel like it's not pride, it's just loving what he made, and knowing that it's okay to just repeat what he's saying over me. Yeah?
Well, Christians, where does Jesus live?
Inside, right?
Oh, is he out there? Should we do away with the dirty, filthy, gross body and look out and ask him, oh, come from afar, from space, from the fields, and come and bless us with your presence today? Or how are we to know God?
Yeah, right.
Where shall we look?
Yeah.
What shall we improve? What shall we bring out more and more? The energy drink's starting to hit.
Yeah, because he's using a lot of shells and he's preaching, Reverend.
But you know what I'm saying?
Reverend
Like
Dennis.
there's been such this emphasis, at least as I grew up in the South, with this like terrible human body, the flesh, you know? And I think there's a confusion that happened between our dark shadow side, our tendencies to go do selfishly and to go
So true.
do
Dana.
poorly and to put ourselves before other people. And
Yeah.
you see that in small ways, like in traffic or
Yeah.
in sort of everybody's trying to get theirs first and their families first. And I think we've confused that with this holy part of the human vessel, which is the pinnacle of creation.
And because he said it was good. He said he created
taking it-
mankind, said it was good. I feel good. I feel that goodness
Yeah.
in me. And I think it's taken me a while to do that. But yeah, I really feel it. Waking up every day and I think this is good.
And coming back to this fleshly body, you know, we're going to cast it off one day, you know,
Yeah.
and it is, you know, in all, putting it all in perspective too, you know, if when I've seen beautiful family members like my husband's father, who we love so much, pass away, you know, and you see their body there, but you know that they're not there anymore because their soul is gone. You love the person inside.
Yes.
You love, so really it's just a tent. However, it's okay, I think, to just love, you know, maybe wanting to represent strength in your body and, you know, contend for muscles and things like that. You know how God talks about the war horse in Proverbs, and I've talked about that here on the podcast before, and he actually gets excited when he talks about you know the muscles as it's the horse is kind of like pouring at the ground and getting ready for battle. And I just feel like it's okay. Some of these things we think you can't be a Christian and contend for anything physical like that, you know? And so
Yeah, you can't be a Christian and use Botox.
yeah, and you can't be a Christian and also too to even like the subject of sexuality too. It's also like put down like that's the flesh. No, that's not the flesh. It can be turned fleshly in that dark, shadowy way, like you said. But it's such a lovely part of what God calls beautiful.
Well, people want to make sure they pray before a meal, but who gets up before the sun and prays? Like, it's very easy to take any religion and customize and pluck the parts out that seem to already fit with your existing lifestyle. And entire regions of at least America will follow those patterns. There is a certain way and a decorum about how the southeastern Christian man walks about the town. But the ancient,
He's got it out for the South.
Yeah.
I do, because
you live in the South and you felt dismissed.
This is where I was raised, and I didn't open a Bible until I was 17 years old. And when I did, I went and said, wow, this is fascinating. Let me find these people. Oh, I've heard, these are the Christians. Let me go to one of those churches and go see this book lived out. And I just didn't see that. I saw
what about
people
when
that
you came
were,
to the good old Hilltop Church and we were all talking to one another and arguing and having a good old time?
That's why I loitered about here, is because I was like, man, this is what all those people in the Bible were doing. They were like, because like you guys on the hilltop, it was like not just your family, but it was like, felt like hundreds of people, like 4th of July parties and stuff. There was always this community that seemed to be what I would read about. But beyond just that, you know, I think that church, at least in the South, you guys know I sort of like left the Church of the South.
We know that, Dan.
And the
We've
reason
had talks.
there's no bitterness about anything with God or spiritual things. I think the disillusionment was with the community of people who hold that book in their hand, but lifestyle, it's more of sort of their religion.
And I get that, and I think that you were disillusioned, but I don't think that you have tried every community of believers, and I think there's a lot of them that probably would actually fit more with what the Bible looks like. But I do have to say about praying before eating. I don't always pray before my meals, but I try to remember to, because it's just that habit of giving thanks for everything, right? It's just one more way we can have gratitude, which is so good for us.
Yeah.
And I mean, God doesn't tell us to give thanks because he needs it. We need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
Do you think
Love
that the like I used to think that praying before a meal was to like make sure I remember who gives me my food. Make sure I remember where, like, it was another way to get humble. Like, you didn't earn this food.
Oh, I never thought of
God
it like
gave,
that.
That's what I was told. Okay. But I sort of revisited that recently and wondered, because now that I know about what gratitude does to digestion.
Yeah, I know, right.
And didn't it say that he gave thanks?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, giving of thanks, I think, again, in my religious Southern brain, what I pictured was, thank you, God, for this food. But, like, there's other ways to interpret that. Like, what if it was he expressed gratitude? He welled up a spirit of gratefulness before eating. We
don't know what it looks like.
Because some people can say, I give thanks for this food and not feel it.
And not feel grateful.
Yeah.
And
Thank
feel
you,
bitter
God,
and
for
angry.
this food about to eat. May we be truly thankful. Amen.
But I mean, it
who
had to be-
cares,
It's probably more than just digestion, too, I assume. Like, I don't think...
Well, it's parasympathetic when we get into that gratitude mode. And it's not just for us. I truly am thankful to God for everything. And I want to be more thankful to God. But it's jolly well good for us. But, don't you have
I have a little something to say.
piece of
Pearl
meat
and I
today?
don't have like massive meat. Remember, I used to bring the teleprompter and bring
You'll
things?
still do that occasion, but we're trying to finish a book.
No, we will. It's just because we're trying to finish a book. Deadlines. So if we're going to put in any effort right now, is to finish the project we got to get done. So anyway, we just bring in stuff and talking off the top of our head. But I really wanted to I thought to myself, what do I have that's practical that I can just bring? What's burning on my heart as far as a health is concerned that I can give, because we don't want to give out the things we're writing in the book about.
Well, we can
too
give
much.
nuggets.
We can give nuggets.
Can't
But
give
anyway,
Niblets.
picture.
and I just want to ask how you guys are doing. I just want to check in and ask how you guys are doing in your sleep.
Very bad.
Because I noticed some things in my family about sleep, and we've been talking about the hilltop. We've been talking about community. And do you know one interesting thing about community is you share a lot of things. You share a lot
Toothbrush.
of, thankfulness. You share a lot of, wonderful memories, but you share a lot of germs.
Viruses.
And I just got out of hospital. I had pneumonia.
Are you serious?
Like, how do I get pneumonia?
It's because your children had
47 years
pneumonia.
old, never had pneumonia in my life.
You had pneumonia.
But pneumonia has just been going around the community. My children have been having pneumonia.
Do you
and
have
they're
it now?
No, I don't have it now. Spitting and coughing up all over me. It was mild.
You don't have to stay in
Which
hospital.
children?
I didn't have
That
to
one?
stay.
It's
I
just
went
that
to
she went to the emergency room because her chest was hurting.
Yeah, no, my chest was hurting so badly, like sharp knives, like a pleurisy pain, but I didn't know that it was pleurisy pain. Just so sharp. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't, like, it was
Did you
so
get
bad
medicine?
for about a week. And then my husband's like, it could be a blood clot. I mean, it could be. I mean, weirder things have happened to healthy people. I mean, sometimes, we've heard of beautiful people and they're friends of friends.
They dropped
and
dead.
28-year-old wife just went to sleep and never woke up. She had like
An aneurysm?
Yeah. So he's like, dead wife? No, I don't want it. We'll just go, even if we think it's the craziest thing, we'll just go and check out it's not a blood clot. Well, they went and got my blood markers taken, and they're like high levels to show that your body's trying to dissolve a clot. And I'm like, freak out. How? Why?
Yeah,
what?
but I know why
I know,
that
but
is.
you can say that later. But anyway, so my
I wanna
husband's,
know.
and so they said, well, we need to give you a CT scan now with contrast. And I'm like, this is hell for a purist. Like, you couldn't have said anything worse.
You have to drink dye.
Over my life. No, they put it in my veins.
Oh, they inject
I
you.
could feel the radioactive poison. Like, it went
Yes.
hot and made me feel like I'd pee my pants. I felt like my throat was closing, and they put me through this big tunnel CT scan. And I was like, this is the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Worst. And I realized that I had to die to an idol of purism.
She
that
called
day.
me afterwards. She said, Pearl, I would rather eat 1,000 McDonald's burgers
Yeah.
than do what I just
And you
did.
feel like you've undone years of
Yes.
purity.
I'm like, where are we going after? When my husband took me home from the hospital, I'm like, where are we going? Might as well just drive through Duncan at this point.
While we're here.
But anyway, I said to Pearl on the cruise we just went to, a cruise to finish our book, not thinking we're holidaying all the time. But anyway,
We didn't finish it.
She was having a tiramisu. And she's like, would you have a bite, just out of pleasure? And she said, what about for $5? I said, no. She said, what about for $500? I'm like, probably not. She goes, 1,000? Would you have a piece of tiramisu for 1,000?
Everybody's got a number.
I'm like, I'm not sure. 1,000? I don't know. Probably not. But maybe if it was a little bit more.
I'd
and
pay
here
for
I am. Here I am getting like worse than 1,000 tiramisus
Oh,
put
yeah.
through my veins.
Yeah.
Because I happened to be really stupid and look up Beelzebub, Google,
Mm.
and it told me that it was going to be there for the rest of my life in my brain, like stored in my brain or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I felt like it was good that it ended up happening because my husband forced me to have it. He's like, Serene, dead wife or poisoned wife? I'd rather have a poisoned wife.
Yeah.
Right? So I went and got the scan. It came for naught in the end because I didn't have this clot, of course. And then Pearl called me up. She said, we had vein surgery. Your body's breaking down all of those
I
veins.
still have
Oh.
have clots from all our vein stuff. We're going to break them down
body's
for a
breaking them
year.
down. And so that's what's happening. And I'm like, ah. But anyway, all that to say is it was good. Sometimes it's good to lay the idols down. I didn't know it was an idol, but I realized it was because I got in a bad mood. And that means it was an idol in my life, right? I
Yeah.
cared about. And then I gave to God and I said, God, you can take all that out of my bones. So I don't have it in my bones, all that contrast. I just believe it's gone.
Yeah.
Just totally gone. But anyway, all that to say is I got pneumonia because, I know why. Not just because community, but because late nights.
And it was going
That's
around.
why I'm checking in on your sleep, because my children keep bringing it back around into my house.
Yeah, they do.
because they're going to all these community fun events and staying up till goodness knows how long.
They're pulling all night.
So do your kids stay up way too late, your teens?
Wait, I go to bed way before them.
What time are they going to bed?
I don't
You don't
know.
even know.
And then when they all get together, our Hilltop crew, when they get together and do events, they love to pull all-nighters.
Yeah, Christian all-nighters. It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay, no, that helps to hear. And I think a lot of people listening with teens are like, oh, thank God. Because, you know, you can get in your own household and
Yeah.
all you know is what's going on there. And so I've never had teens before. And so now they're like, you know, coming in. I make them come in by curfew, by the way.
Oh,
like
do you?
y'all,
You're the
But
mean
see,
dad.
the hilltop is
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing.
Like-
It's here you can go out in the woods. I mean, there's
Yeah.
you're not in town, but like I'm in town.
Yeah.
Like there's a city and there's spooky people.
Yeah, right.
And so I make them come in at curfew, and you would think I was the worst father of all
What
time.
is the curfew?
Curfew is for 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
Which my 18-year-old's away at
Yeah,
at university.
Yes.
My 16-year-old curfew is 10 on the weekdays.
Yeah.
And 11 on the weekends.
I think that's fair enough.
Oh, you can
That's
do
not
What
too
else
mean.
do you want to do
Yeah,
after
that's not too
11
No,
mean.
no,
o'clock?
that's good. That's not too mean at all.
I know, and I get, you know, but see, a lot of the other parents are more
Yeah.
loose, and they kind of ignore those curfew
Oh my
laws.
goodness, you're kind of nice. We had curfew unless it was like pulling all night at a cousin's house. That's fine on a weekend. Our curfew was definitely 10 until they're 18.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
weekends were probably a little different though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't have a curfew because I want my rats killed. My teenage boys, that's when they take their guns and they just go hunt down all the rats.
All the
and
little varmints
armadillos
at
and all
night?
the vermits. Yeah, I'll wake up in the
Your
middle. What's
son
that?
is looking there
What's
like,
that?
why
What
is my
that
mother
flashlight in the
talking
middle of-
about rats?
What is that flashlight? Like, what is that light? It's like 3 in the morning. They go down. It's like a sun
Hey,
with
we
a gun
don't
trying to kill all the
mean-
vermits.
Serene, we don't mean in bed
Not
by
in
10.
the
We
house.
mean home by 10.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
home. He's in our yard, but he's still out with the gun doing
Oh,
stuff. You know.
outside.
Yeah, I mean, you could run around my yard, but like when we lived on
Yeah.
land, you know, there was no thought of this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm in town, and now there's all these like normal parent things.
But I've got thought now.
Let's hear
Okay,
it.
but
Because
we-
I'm sick of the sickness. I'm saying done with it. And they can't eat healthier. I mean, my homemade bread, the kefir, the salads, the eggs from the backyard. I mean, they don't bring juice into the house. I mean, they eat
It all
healthy.
started around. I have to share background information. Serene's family got really sick around Christmas. She did a party because her first daughter got pneumonia. There was whooping cough.
No, it
going
started before that. We
Yeah.
went to a good old Christian event with all of
yeah,
hundreds of.
and they picked up a virus, and that kept recirculating.
Yeah.
and there was sugar involved, and then
My children were
finally,
eating Nana's cookies. I told this on the podcast, but they were the ones that Granddad brought from the old bakeries in town
but
that you
you
give to the
didn't
poor.
come down with it at all. So what happened that you did?
I didn't come down with it at all, but I just started to having a few late nights here and
Yeah.
there lately. Like,
And it was so in your house.
way late, and it was so in my house, and all my children were just coughing all over me
Mm-hmm.
with it all.
I mean, at some point, you're just not going to avoid it.
Yeah,
And I probably overdid it in the gym or something
Oh,
stupid like
yeah.
that.
But even
she
if
did.
you did it all perfect,
when she told me, yeah, that's true. But she told me, I'm feeling I'm coming down with a little something. I said, don't you work out? Because her workouts are a lot longer than mine. Mine are 25 minutes.
why working out will lower the immune
If you
system?
work out strenuously for close to an hour like she does, all your like healing capacity is going to your muscles instead of healing from whatever virus is attacking you. So I think whenever you feel like you're coming down with something, I never strength train.
but
And this
I
girl
don't ever
here,
listen to wisdom.
You're gonna
she
keep
doesn't
it
listen
going.
to
Nah.
big sis.
I wonder though, but I mean, that would mean that gym bros are more prone to
No,
No,
illness.
their immune system's higher on the whole
Yeah,
because they've got
and-
more muscle. But if you've got something right attacking
Okay.
you, like from a
Okay.
daughter coughing on you all night,
Okay, that does make sense, anecdotally at least to me, because when I am like, oh, I feel like I might be a little sick, and then I go play in the yard with the kids and go wild, I'm just like, and then
Yeah.
you can go down.
you can.
Yeah, so anyway,
okay.
I want to check in on your sleep because I've noticed that I can do everything right, ticked all the boxes. My children can do everything right, but if sleep's not dialed in, it's such a huge
Yeah.
factor, so huge. And we're talking immune system here, but it's so huge for so much more than that. And we're going to touch on that, Danny. Yes,
Because sleep recharges the mitochondria, right?
It does.
Yes, it
It's
does.
so many things. And, we talked a couple of podcasts ago about breath,
Yes.
right? These are fundamental things that we forget. We do all the eating and we strength train and we do all these, supplements and essential. But if we're not getting sleep right and breath right, we're kind of like going, a few steps forwards, a few steps back.
What do you mean breath?
We did a podcast on
You were here.
deep
Remember,
Don't
as
do it.
discussed. As
Don't
discussed.
do
as
it.
discussed.
But anyway, we're not going to go through. We actually talk about it a little bit in our book too. When it comes to gut health, sleep is incredible. Like you can take all the probiotics and do everything right and live on the kefir, but if your sleep is messed up, you're messing up the gut.
You know, my son came in and he's in that 16-year-old. He's got his wheels, right? So he's got daddy's wheels. But he can stay up. Like even when he comes home, he'll still be staying up.
Yeah.
His food choices are not my choices; they're his choices. But you know, we give a little. Like I don't want to like force a man with armpit hair to eat exactly what Daddy says to eat. Right? I'm trying to help him, let him choose, but he's always choosing wrong.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he's not choosing. He's going fast food, right?
Yeah, it's roostering. Yeah.
Yeah, and so. And then he's staying up late, eating poorly, and sometimes won't eat all day until later on, where he'll eat terribly. And he's like, man, for the past 3 weeks, I'm just like not feeling good. I think something's really wrong with me. I've even thrown up some, and I'm like, dude, I'm not taking you to the doctor until you are eating 3 meals a day, and it's food from the earth, and you're going to bed. Like, I think you can just ruin your body with just the most simple negligence throughout the week.
It's so true. And the reason why I want to like check in with you guys is because I feel like it tends to be something that us, especially us women, love to do is be a little bit rebellious about bedtime. Because it's kind of sometimes where it's kind of our time.
Well, you're finally free.
And you finally can just feel like it's just the house is quiet and maybe you know, talk to a few of my friends, and that's when they start chatting with each other, like on the texting and the emailing back and forth and stuff. And that's,
get on Facebook.
And that's the blue light. And I do want to talk about that too, because, you know, I love bioidentical hormones. You know, we love them. And progesterone does help you sleep so well at night. And so I love my progesterone at night for sleeping. And I do take some melatonin too from time to time, just
really?
for funsies. They say, and do you agree with this, Pearl? I've read studies on it that you don't hurt or hinder your own melatonin production when you take melatonin. It doesn't stop your own. So
well, I've heard it both ways, Serene. All I know is that I take 10 milligrams a night because it's a powerful antioxidant, and it lowers as we age. So I want more.
I take 20,
and 20 gives me bad dreams. And
really?
I'll take the bad dreams,
it is
mate.
so anti-cancer.
Yeah. Melatonin
is one of the most powerful anti-cancer.
And if I had it, but I had run out, I would have like taken almost the whole bottle after that contrast with CT scan, because it's one of the biggest detoxifiers.
Okay.
But some people get really bad dreams with it. If I go over 10, I do. My dreams are insane.
Are we worried about baseline resetting with melatonin?
Well, that's what she was saying.
Yeah, I've read studies that doesn't happen. But Pearl, have you read the opposite? Have you? I'd like to see that.
I mean, some people, a lot of people are concerned about it, and I've never
But I
really
read a
delved
study
into it
and
because
they
I just
said-
believe in it so much.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Okay, I read a study.
It's
and
like
said
my
it doesn't.
thyroid. I'm going to take my thyroid
that
medicine.
gets back into that, it gets back into testosterone and all the things of like, are you messing with your levels? And it's like, okay, yes, you are. But is that
Well,
bad?
testosterone it does, but you see, when you got none,
Yeah, well,
then
see,
who
I
cares?
feel
Just add it
like
back.
maybe if I was in my 20s or 30s, I'd delve into whether it's going to stop my own production. But
Okay.
after 40, what the heck?
Everything
You're losing
goes down.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, put
So
it
there's
in.
no amount of working
but
out.
I want to
There's
tell
no-
you,
Yeah.
I want to tell you
Okay,
guys, I'm
okay,
getting to
okay,
a point.
Yeah.
Melatonin, progesterone, awesome. But I'm going to read a study, so I'm going to have to put my special screen glasses on.
Oh,
Yeah,
you put
no,
your
I
spectacles
Don't-
on?
Do not laugh at me because of this style.
Look at
She looks
that.
really good
No,
in
they're a
these.
masculine style. I brought them for my husband.
Serene.
They're Neutrogender, but I thought, what's the most masculine? Because my
They're not.
husband's a Marlboro man. He's not going to suit any minimalistic, modern-looking, glasses. I went for the
I think
old-fashioned
she looks
rims.
good in these.
Let's see it.
Anyway, so I brought them for him. I brought them for him, but he can't wear them because they're not prescription. And all of a sudden,
No,
he needs
that's not why he
prescription
can't wear
glasses.
them. He can't wear them because they're 70s white van kidnapper glasses.
Listen, I went for them. I thought they were great for him, but then I got back from the cruise. I couldn't take them back. The return date had passed, so I'm like, flipping well. I spent $200 on these.
Now on
I
you, they
went
look
really
cool.
high like brand because it was Christmas.
good.
No, you know what?
Christmas time.
Lisa Loeb.
Okay, well, anyway, so I wore them. I'm like, I've got to. So I never would have brought myself blue light block. These are my daytime. And then it was Christmas, right? So
Get
I went
'em
to
out.
town. These are the nighttime.
Get 'em
so
out.
these is what I'll be wearing tonight for the 3 hours before bed.
Why? Okay, what does the
Serene.
difference do?
Yes.
I'm totally buying both of these
Okay,
right now.
Yes.
but guess what, people? The difference. I put these on at 6 o'clock, okay?
Okay.
Or 6:30ish.
I
And
gotta
wear
try
them
'em.
for 3 hours. I'm telling you what. Let me look at you, Pearl. Oh, you look great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what. The difference is unbelievable.
Really?
Can I see them?
I go to bed like a baby. I stay to bed. It's the staying to bed, people. I'm telling you what. I don't know if you bought any fake $25 blue light glasses from Amazon. They didn't work. Buy yourself some proper ones.
Well, where do we get these?
These are
I don't know. I'm
fun.
not selling for the company.
No, we need to find
Bond
out.
Charge from Australia. Bond Charge.
Bon charge. Now I do.
They're really expensive, and I only went all the way in with my pocket because it was Christmas and I wanted something special for my husband.
blue light.
But
But
I added-
you're
you know.
saying? Can I just
The
like?
Bible says when you give it, she'll give
The Poddy
give
sign
back
is like
to you, and that's what happened. They're mine now.
Can I just speak some just clarity into this podcast so far? You are saying go to bed at night, but you are also saying are you going to spend some screen time at night? Do
That's the
blue
time-
light blockers because blue light interferes with sleep. But I want to say this and
And we're
going to
tell them why. And we're going to talk about it. Give
Two
me my
worlds.
stupid these ones back because I'm going to read on my screen.
Saying you have to go to bed at 9.
No, and I want to talk about that too. Can I just get to all of that?
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like
I do want to say. Okay, so the reason why I'm putting these glasses on, I don't wear them all day long. These ones, but if I'm doing long computer time, I do.
I
because
have
long
to. My
screen time's
eyes
not
are
great.
hurting from finishing this book.
But I do want to say this. Blue light is fantastic. It can be great for alertness. It can really rev the body with energy, but that is not good from the afternoon onwards, like noontime onwards. You got to start watching your screen time then. So I have the clear ones for the computer
What do
in
the
the day.
clear ones do?
They just block all the blue light from your
Do
devices.
you use them in the morning or no?
No, I don't. I just use them from about lunchtime onwards.
Okay, good to know.
But if I was doing 4 hours in the morning on the computer, I would because it's too much like stimulus, like direct blue light. But blue light blocks or even stops in some people melatonin production.
Yeah, it does.
It's and most of our lights are LED or incandescent these days, and screens like from your tablets, computers, televisions. They're all blue light, intense blue light, and it's super hard to go from intense blue light to absolutely like go to bed, Miss Serene, and it's hard for your body to obey.
Now, what about the orange color on these? For those not watching
That's
this,
because back in
the
the olden
nighttime
days,
ones have orange.
When the sun went down, it was firelight, it was candlelight, it was kerosene light maybe, but it wasn't these fluorescent LED lights. And our circadian rhythms are really messed with now. Our melatonin hormone, which is so important for getting to sleep and staying to sleep, is either slowed or absolutely become of nil effect. And so these dim ones, they help everything look candlelight at nighttime.
Can you still see a screen
Oh
properly?
yeah, brilliantly.
Okay.
I wear them for 3 hours religiously, just thinking.
Does Sam think you're sexy in them?
He thinks I'm sexy in them.
Okay.
And I don't even care if he doesn't, right? Because it's just like I spent $400
'Cause I'm over 40.
between the two, so I'm using my
And
money,
securely
right?
married.
He's just gonna have to think you're sexy.
But it happens that he likes the glasses.
Okay.
I like him in glasses too, so we're perfectly matched.
The orange is such a vibe.
But anyway, I'm telling you,
good.
the results are incredible. I'm speaking to it. The blue light, I didn't know how badly it was affecting me. But I want to read some things because it's not just about gut health, which you'll read in our book. And it's not just about immune system. What I've noticed so experimentally in my house, like my children, as soon as they have a late night again, it's like all the symptoms are back. I've just noticed it so much.
I'm buying some.
But weight. It's a
Okay.
huge thing with weight control and blood glucose metabolism.
Yes, and I got a couple of studies to help you with that, or do you want to?
No, I want you. No, I want you.
Okay, so-
epidemiology. Epidemiologic. Why can I not say that? Epidemiology. I can read it like a normal, intelligent
It's the
person.
glasses. Epidemiology.
Yeah, no, it's epidemiology.
Whatever it is.
Studies in adults and children. I want to bring out that it's very, very strong, even stronger in children and adolescents, that this obesity thing can occur.
Okay.
Okay, but it stays with them into adulthood. And it really is bad in adulthood. But these studies are bringing out that it is severe in childhood, that if you don't get the right amount of sleep or get to sleep before a certain hour, then you don't get the right human growth hormone. And this
Okay.
happens with adults too.
Yeah.
But it just is more dramatic in the children. But anyway, epidemiologic studies
Just say it fast.
In adults and children, and laboratory studies in young adults indicating that sleep restriction results in metabolic and endocrine alterations, including decreased glucose tolerance, nothing we want, especially in menopause, perimenopause, decreased insulin sensitivity, increased evening concentrations of cortisol. We know what cortisol does to our bellies. It redistributes our weight to our middle. It's our stress hormone. Increased levels of ghrelin. That's our hunger hormone. Decreased levels of leptin. That's our satiety hormone. And increased hunger and appetite. And then it goes on all about it. I just highlighted something else too in this huge long PubMed study, but I want to read something here. Don't tell me it came off.
Did you highlight it?
Yeah, but don't worry. I will bring it. Just look for yours.
Okay, well, I could bring it.
Okay. A subsequent study examined appetite regulation after 2 nights of 4 hours in bed and after 2 nights of 10 hours in bed in a randomized crossover design. The study confirmed the decrease in leptin levels seen in the previous study, with an 18% decrease of leptin levels after the short nights relative to the long nights. Furthermore, ghrelin was assayed and showed a 28% increase. So 28% increase in hunger after the 2 nights with, little sleep. Questionnaires on hunger and appetite, blah, 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 they go into all of this. Appetite for high carbohydrate nutrients was the most affected with a 32% increase. Importantly, the subjective report of increased hunger was correlated with the increase in ghrelin to leptin ratio. It goes on and on. They had excessive amounts of calories, particularly from carbohydrates used when they had the sleep that wasn't, long enough. The subjects were middle-aged, overweight individuals who were exposed to. It goes on about the study and how it was done. But isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Increased hunger, decreased satiety. Decreased blood sugar control.
Some of the studies that I looked at said even the caloric...
glucose tolerance was decreased by more than 40%.
The caloric intake was decreased. They did a study on people versus how many hours of sleep they got.
Yeah.
So when they got less sleep, they were eating more to compensate because stress hormones went up. And that drives hunger, like you said. The other thing, now this is interesting. They studied people... 2 sets of people who had the same amount of calories per day.
Yes.
Those who ate the calories in the evening, especially late night eating, is associated, this study says, with greater weight gain and a higher BMI than morning eating because it decreases fat oxidation, making weight loss extremely hard. So it was very interesting because they were eating and not in their circadian rhythm. There was cortisol as they were eating because it was late at night. Whereas in the morning, we are burners. Now, I'm not like breakfast like a king, dinner like a pauper. I have a great dinner. But there's a time when if you're eating after 10 p.m. at night continually or even after 9, you're doing silly things
now,
to your
if you're
body.
like me and you're weight training and you're at goal weight and you're expending a lot of calories and you're just really hungry and you can't sleep because of hunger, casein is brilliant.
Yeah, cottage
That is
cheese.
the one thing that doesn't disturb sleep.
You could either do cottage cheese or actually a casein supplement.
It's native. I think it's native
called native.
casein.
But all
something
we're
like that, I
saying
think.
is nighttime eating, that time after dinner. Have your dinner. We're not saying you must eat a meager little dinner. No, have a good dinner. But if you're doing stuff after that, because you're staying
you could
up.
do stuff after that, but after a stupid hour.
No,
Like
that's what
maybe-
I'm saying. No, you could even have a dessert or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you're staying up late, like after 10, I mean, like you're probably saying, well, girls, what's early, what's late?
Can I talk about that really
Yes.
quickly? They did a study, and I
Okay.
didn't really
Because-
cut and paste it to here, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. If you just look it up on the Googs, just put in the main words I say, it'll come out.
Yeah.
Right? But there's a study that says get to bed at 10 is the best,
Yeah,
right? But
I
between
like
10 and you're asleep by 11. So we're not saying be boring,
No.
people. Like get to bed by 10. Be in your bed.
Yeah.
Horizontal relaxation by 10.
I love
okay?
it. Yep.
There can be a little bit of steamy stuff going on. That's fine.
Yeah.
But get in the bed in
It's
the
actually
sheets
good.
by 10 and use your bed for
Yeah.
steamy stuff and sleep, but you don't use it for being on the computer and all that stuff because you'll stay up for hours. You could be in the sheets and be up for hours researching and
A
all
good
that.
steamer.
But I do want to say that they say going to bed before 9 actually doesn't show a lot of
Yeah.
rewards.
Interesting.
So you don't have to be a boring head and like,
No.
oh, well, I have to go to bed even though it's fun just because it's time.
Yeah.
No.
I think 10 is so natural. I usually get into bed like at 9:45, 9:45. Now, I love
I forgot to tell you about the study.
Okay,
Heart disease and heart stroke and all of that
Yes.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
like went zooming high when they weren't asleep.
It's because cortisol's
By
rising.
11, like you'd be in the bed by 10, but you got to be asleep by 11. Cortisol is rising. Human growth hormone stops.
I know.
But before go to bed before 9, they actually showed that heart disease still was not as protected.
No, is
because it messed with the circadian rhythm. It wasn't
is that
natural.
reasonable window
Yeah.
where we can still be fun, normal people in life and go to bed around 10, sleep by 10:30 or
Yeah.
whatever? But that's not super early. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we all have different lives. Maybe you have to get up at 4. You got to go to bed earlier or whatever. But if you're up and the sun rises at a certain time for everybody, right?
Yes.
And if you're up past the midnight hours or around the midnight hours, you're just shooting your health in the foot.
Yes.
You really are.
Like
First of
what
all, you're going
we
to be
want-
hungry at
What we want
midnight.
to say is you're a protein nerd number 3 now.
Yeah.
And maybe you're doing it all right. You've been listening to the Poddy, so you're not just doing THM the Pinterest way, right? You've been to a higher learning, okay, with the THM. And it's like, but it's not working for you. Sleep. Check your sleep. That's why I'm checking in with you, because it can undo all your great efforts.
Can I add something about what sleep is important for?
Yes.
You might have this in your noties, but it's important for autophagy.
Yes, it
Now, you
is.
hear the fasters go on, the intermittent fasters, about how we need autophagy, especially as we age, because autophagy is how the body clears out old cells.
Senescent cells.
Cells that are doing wrong things. They get old, and so they go a bit haywire. They might turn into cancer cells or something like this. And autophagy, which fasting does turn on, clears them out, basically eats them up, okay? You want that. But they've also found some other things that turn on autophagy. And one of the strongest things, even more so than fasting, and another thing is more than fasting, is sleep.
Yes.
Sleep is your autophagy king. And another thing, strength training. Autophagy
Yeah.
queen, maybe.
Yeah.
And fasting does it. But I say if you've got that beautiful overnight fast where you're not eating at midnight, then it's a proper fast.
Because fasting does wrecking things too. It slows down your metabolism and wastes your muscle and all kinds of things. So why
Yeah.
don't you do the things that just
But
have good results?
there's a brilliant regular fast. What's breakfast? Breaking your fast, right?
Yeah.
Break fast, breakfast. So you do want a fast, a normal one.
Yes.
Where you're going around, it depends, but you're going around 12 hours, but you're not eating at midnight.
Can
If
I
you are eating at midnight, you are actually stopping that autophagy too.
These dimming, wherever they are. Oh, he's
Hi.
wearing them. These dimming glasses.
Yeah.
They make me eat less at night. My body's like, well,
What?
you don't go and like hoard the fridge when it's like candlelight.
Ah,
Candlelight, you just start
yeah.
feeling all kind of very,
Blue light makes you want to eat because
It
it
does.
tells your body rev, rev, rev.
you got to go out in the fields and work, it tells your body.
Hey, are
the sun
these-
is high in the sky.
Are these special because of the type of glass, or can we just get orange tinted?
I don't know. I'm telling you what, I don't know, because I've had friends that have brought like $25 ones from Amazon and they've never come over and said, Serene, you cannot believe. I have been telling everybody who steps foot in my house about my new changed life in my sleep.
Yeah.
Because of these. So
I
I don't
bought
know.
$25 ones off Amazon and I didn't say anything and I don't know where they
Okay,
are.
another thing is
But
I
I'm gonna
always
buy the
turn my
$200 one.
devices to night mode.
Oh, I find
always
it hard
do.
to see in them.
Well, I just do.
I will say I wanted to wear these for a long time. When I lower them,
Yeah.
everything is like blinding blue.
Yeah.
Blue. It's like
Yeah.
a aquarium.
But they actually look good on you. You could just rock them.
Yeah, you could. And
I just
do,
like the vibes.
and I do want to say, I want to read a little bit here, just more if I can just be boring.
Yeah, be boring.
Rapidly
podcast.
accumulating evidence suggests that sleep disturbances, including insufficient sleep due to bedtime curtailment and poor sleep quality, may represent novel risk factors for obesity and type 2 diabetes. While laboratory studies have been conducted in adults only, a large number of epidemiologic studies. I did it! Epidemiologic. Why? Because I was
Nice.
no fear involved.
Yeah.
I didn't know the word was coming.
You didn't
And
guess.
the other one, I had to start with that word.
Yes.
Epidemiologic.
You have to lean in.
A large number of epidemiologic studies in pediatric populations, that's what I was talking about before. So this is for your children too, have demonstrated associations between short sleep and adiposity that are often stronger than those seen in adult populations. We've just read these studies before. That was adult populations. See how nasty that was with the adult populations? They're saying it's even stronger with children, with youth. Okay, where was I? Sleep curtailment appears to be an increasingly prevalent behavior in children, and in the United States, adolescents may well be the most sleep-deprived age group, with a difference between self-reported sleep and estimated
Slow down.
sleep need of more than 2 hours daily. They need the extra 2 hours to have it when they're not giving it to themselves. And there was something I had highlighted, but it went. But I had highlighted it, and it was saying how from back a few decades to where it is now, that we have lost about 2 hours on average sleep. We just sleep less, and I bet you it's because of all our devices and all of that kind of
screen.
stuff.
Of course.
And they have shown the obesity has climbed with the sleep deprivation climbing.
Can I give a big push right now for 2 reasons? For hardcover paperback books at night.
Yes.
Because it gets you off the screen. And they've done studies that show if you actually read hard copy at night versus on a screen, you can download a book all you want. But if you're reading that at night right before you sleep, I don't know whether the glasses may help with that. Maybe.
I still do a lot of research at night because for the book, we're finishing it off. So I've been doing a lot of screen at night. These have been helping me.
But when I get into bed, I get into my bed and do research too for a while. But then when I decide, hey, it's 10 o'clock, I just get a hardcover book. My nightstand always has them, and read for about 10 minutes. And it tells my body, Pearl, night, soothy. Oh, you're so precious and sleepy.
Yeah,
It
my mom
does
used to do
something.
that. She would struggle really bad. She was a single mom, anxious, up all night, and she really struggled with sleep. And she started reading at night, and she would knock
And
out.
my mom
I
always
slept
told us that Pearl,
you
if you can't
just-
sleep at night, read
when
a
you just said-
hardcover book.
When you just said mothers,
Yeah.
it just reminded me of a trauma of my childhood.
Oh,
I went to sleep the night at one of my friends' houses. You know, you did that back then.
Yeah.
You don't do that these
No.
days.
What?
eh?
Spend the night?
At other people's houses. We do
Shoot.
on the hilltop because it's all fam, right?
Oh, my kids prefer to sleep at someone else's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they're little girls, you go let them?
Yeah,
No.
No.
But this was a family
Unless
from
I'm there.
church, right? Family from church, way back when you let your children do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I went to sleep, and this is what this mother did. She put Vicks over the eyelashes of the child, and then I was sleeping next to the child, so she did it to mine too. I was scared to open my eyes.
Vapo
I was
rub?
scared that there was sting.
Vicks?
I just remember
you
that
do?
trauma. I haven't remembered it since
Serene. Put it on your eyeballs?
then. No, the lashes. Like,
See?
shut your eyes, and she did
You
that.
actually got abused when you
did.
left.
That's abuse.
Me too. Me too, everybody.
That is
Hashtag.
abuse.
Hashtag
Serene,
Vicks on the eyes.
Allison. When I remember, that's weird. You just unlocked a core childhood trauma
I
of
did.
mine.
It's the glasses.
No, I spent the night at a friend's house. And the evil mother, this was the first time I ever experienced Vicks Vapo Rub on my chest. She put it on my chest. I still don't know why. Maybe I was sick. I don't know. But I was getting it on the chest. And I remember feeling like I was being tortured in flames by the devil. Because I'm sensitive to things.
Yeah.
And it was just tingling fire on my chest. And it was the opposite of rest.
Was
and
the
sleep
little
and
boy
healing.
next to you, did he get Vicks?
I don't know about him.
You might have been, it might have been punishment because you were too rowdy in the house. Let me finish this study, okay?
Okay, but then I got so much
There
to
is a
say.
paucity of knowledge regarding how insufficient sleep and sleep disorder, sleep disorders may affect pubertal development and growth. And I tell you why. Because there's a release of sex steroids and growth hormone, and it's markedly dependent on sleep during the pubertal transition. Okay, that's why teenagers need to sleep longer.
they
They
sleep,
do.
yeah.
An increasing number of children are obese and may suffer from a
But I tell
don't
you
need to read
why,
all that.
they're laid up at night gaming and stuff. But can I?
But let me just finish the sentence. The impact of the sleep disorder, which is known to promote insulin resistance and reduce testosterone in adults. Now, listen, perimenopausal women have lower testosterone than they should these days. They say that testosterone should be one of the last hormones to go. Well, we're studying a lot of women's bloods right now, you know, just because we're coming up with our own hormone platform. So we're using some testers and we're looking at everyone's blood. Testosterone is usually gone in all of them.
Shot.
And it shouldn't be.
Gone.
And I wonder it's because we're
That's
not
wild.
getting the sleep that we need because of our crazy blue lights and our bad sleep hygiene habits these days.
one of the
And it's
contributors.
shooting our testosterone in the foot. And I wonder if that's why, you know, we need more young testosterone males these days. They just need to get to bed and off the
Hey,
games.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Could birth control methods
Totes.
prevent women from getting the testosterone they need?
Well, if you're talking
Yeah.
about the oral birth control pill, it completely annihilates
Condoms.
Well, this is a different
That's
No,
a whole
it's
podcast.
different
not.
potty, but
I think
This
it's
is
a
a
it
health
doesn't
show.
stop their own tea, but it does stop the present
there's
from
no
you,
zinc.
which is zinc.
There's no zinc
And
coming
a
to the woman.
variety of minerals.
But it's not. There's no tea problem. Here.
No, it doesn't affect their own testosterone
Well, we don't
levels.
know.
However, we
Zinc
don't know
helps
that.
with tea.
Yeah,
Zinc
actually,
does help
is
with
there a
tea?
study? That's a whole different potty. We'll bring another one.
We should.
Zinc does help with tea.
I want to talk about, and I know you want to, but may I push us into this next part?
You may.
10
I'm
more
gonna
minutes.
May.
put this away.
Because we're
It's a fun
saying,
study.
It's your
get
podcast.
sleep, go to bed. Okay. I want to talk about when I did everything right in my late perimenopausal years and when I was going through menopause.
Can I sip my smoothie while we talk?
Yeah.
It's time.
It's your podcast.
I tried everything to sleep, but with a loss, that quick loss of our final loss of hormones that occurs for us women, I could not sleep. It was so dramatic. I woke every hour and a half with hot flashes, and it wasn't just hot flashes, it was this anxiety feeling, and I've never suffered with anxiety.
Because of what? I was adjusting my socks.
When I went through menopause and late perimenopause too.
I'd imagine.
I got hot flashes. Some women don't get the hot flashes, but they wake with this tense feeling. It's estrogen leaving the body. I spent 2 years basically completely sleep deprived, and I did everything. I bought the special sheets, the moisture
Like the
wicking
cooling
sheets, the
sheets and
cooling sheets. I did all these
Didn't
things.
you even buy a bracelet that helped cool
Yes.
your body down?
I brought everything that was in my news feed saying, if you say can't sleep, oh my goodness.
No, all you have to do is put menopause in.
Yeah,
or
you're
perimenopause.
primed
Yeah.
for every little gadget or something. And I tried everything,
Yeah.
and I was just so sleep deprived. And that's part of the reason women going through menopause, their cortisol raises because they're so sleep deprived.
And the sweating is a thing too, right?
Oh, it's just the bed was. I used
Can
to
I
feel
play
so.
doctor when you're done with this?
Yes.
'Cause I
Like
wanna
water
doctor you.
balloon
I
in
used
the
to
bed.
feel so embarrassed. My husband loved me all through it, but my sheets were wet. I was slick.
I hope you changed them.
Not in the middle of the night, but I would change my shirts. And I had special moisture wicking pajamas. They were menopause pajamas, and I'd wet through those.
Yeah.
It was gross, and it had a special smell to it.
God,
just
women
saying.
just-
You had to add that.
Women
while
just
drinking
fall
my
apart
smoothie.
I
at
just
like
did.
40.
I want to give you the real reality of what this was like, and I felt putrid.
Were you like sweating out your estrogen?
Yes.
Like
I was
bye-bye.
sweating
it.
it. You know how after birth you sweat out that high estrogen?
Yeah.
It was like that. And the sleep thing in this was what pushed me to go and buy identical hormones. I just couldn't sleep, and I thought at the time I was still worried about risks of breast cancer and all that. I just thought, I don't care. I gotta
just gotta
sleep.
sleep.
I gotta sleep.
Yeah.
And so I went on bioidentical hormones, and all I'm saying is, I love you, sleep.
Can I play
I sleep
doctor?
better now than I did
Let
in
me
my
play
20s.
doctor to that old you. Okay. Say your hot flashes are like a child waking you up in the night.
Yes, because we all go through things.
And you can't get rid of the child,
No.
right? I
Not legally.
Okay. Say somebody just chooses not to get on bioidentical hormones. There's a spoon in it, and if you sip it, the spoon will
I know how
go
to
down
do
your
so.
mouth.
Oh, and the spoon's covered.
She's like, I know how to be an
The
adult.
spoon-
That's why I didn't
covered.
choose to spoon it, because I thought no one would want to see that on the
Oh,
podcast.
I can't
And you
handle
had to
it.
go and do it and show the slimy spoon.
I can't handle
you
food
guys
on the handle.
want reality, but how do you
That was
sip
a
without
pun.
the spoon?
well, you
flicking in
said you knew how. Okay, now you
Don't touch
my
it,
whole
Pearl.
thoughts are gone. Okay,
Oh,
so
you touched
if
it.
you don't want to get on bioidentical hormones, you can't get rid of the child. You're going
Yum.
to wake up to this child. You're going to wake up to the hot flashes. But guess what?
What?
Do you want to wake up to 10 children in the night or
No,
just one?
Just one.
Well, don't wake up to your blue light blocked, no melatonin.
What you're saying is we're
Don't
gonna
wake
have,
up to your bad sleep hygiene things that'll wake you up all night.
What you're
Don't
saying-
wake up to the
Ooh.
fact that you've got cortisol revving through your body because you didn't get to bed before 11.
Are you saying some things in life we can't change? I could change my bioidentical hormones.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying if you choose not to do hormones, which is
Oh.
the only reason you'd still have them.
Yeah, or some people
Then-
can't because they have maybe a blood clotting issue, or
Okay.
they post breast
Right.
cancer. The doctor won't
Well,
give
just
it to
wake
them.
up to one child, not 10.
What she's saying, eliminate the other things.
Yeah.
I love how Pearl's your interpreter.
Yeah.
What Serene's saying is. It's like she just said it.
I thought my analogy spoke for itself, right?
Did it though?
Did it,
I
though.
was not annoyed by my spoon until you had to now I'm going to have to lick it in front
Do you
of
know what? I
everybody.
can't even handle the thought of food on the handle of a spoon.
Yeah, it's so
It's
bad.
like a napkin in the mouth.
Ugh. Do you know what though? I mean, let's talk about, you hear it all the time, your sleep wind down schedule, but I think there's something to it. I have a bit of a schedule, right, in my life.
Look
Hey,
at
do you want
that.
to come and take it? And put
Get
it
it
in the
out.
sink?
Get it out of here.
Get your son to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Do we have a
Serene?
person?
Serene, follow.
What
Person.
happened to the spoon person?
There's one.
There's the hand.
It's just
know
like
the
an
Muppets
arm.
where you just see the hand or the leg?
This is winding down. I want to keep
Just
going
an arm
with
comes
the meat.
in with a
Okay,
Casio
go with the meat, go with
I
the
want
watch
to keep the
with a-
meat going for the people that hate our rabbit trails.
go.
This is for them. I've forgotten what I was going to say. Goodness sakes.
Bring back the
s-
Casio.
The sleep wind down schedule. I think there's
Do you
something.
hate it when they call it sleep hygiene? I never
Yes.
got it. I'm like, what?
Oh,
I'm
that's
clean when I go to
gross.
bed.
But I do it.
I just see plaque.
hate
Can
the
there be
calling it
another word?
hygiene. It's like your morning routine, your nighttime routine, your sleep routine.
Well, why call it sleep hygiene? I always go to bed with clean undies and
Why
brush
is the
teeth.
show still going?
Oh, I was just going to talk about, here's what I do. Some people want to know what Serena and I do.
All right.
Danny, you kind of messed up. So I don't know if people want to know about what you do.
I
but-
messed up?
Well, no, just on your protein stuff.
Oh, I hit a foul ball on the show?
Yeah. Anyway, you're good with your marriage and kids. People follow you on that. So,
I represent the people. You know what? The people don't always hit home runs.
That's true.
And let me tell you what. I don't always get my protein right.
I know.
Should I be fired? Probably so.
Probably. But we tried that and it didn't work.
I'll just come here unpaid.
I feel like, I think as we've alluded to, I always have hot tea. It starts to get about 9ish, 9:30.
They say not to drink, but I have to. They say
Have to.
don't drink 2 hours before
I feel
bed. You'll
dehydrated.
be up peeing, but I have to.
Forget them. Take
I
a pee.
do get up to pee, except last night I slept through. But usually, even with my hot tea, I will get up to pee once a night or so because of the hot tea. But it just tells my body you're getting ready.
Yeah.
And so I do a ginger
Do you
tea.
count your 6 o'clock pee to be getting up in the night? Because I'll still get up at 6 o'clock to go
No,
pee.
that's morning, girl.
Yeah, but you might go back to bed.
That's
for half
all
an
right.
hour.
That's
Okay,
morning
great.
you slept through.
Okay, well, I'm a tour then.
Yeah, okay. So then it gets a bit later and then I hop into bed and I start screening, but now I'm going to do the glasses with it. I do some more research or work on the book or whatever. And then I say, now it's time to really get ready for bed. And then I read a book for a while, turn lights out. My husband usually comes to bed. There might be steamy time. If there's not steamy time, that's fine too. And I will always do my gratitude and my deep breathing in
Yes.
and out.
Yes.
In and out, slow, deep breaths, whoosh them out, and do gratitude.
This is every night?
Yeah, babe.
You're so good.
Why wouldn't I?
I don't
It's
do
brilliant.
I don't do anything every night ever. Like nothing. Like any habit at any time of the day. I just
But
don't
all
do
of that
it
is easy.
consistently.
It doesn't feel like you should do it. It just it's like
It's
what you
kind of
do.
like what you do. I
you know
found
what-
it's just become habit now.
Yeah, that's I think a lot of people struggle with that more than we think because of the internet. Like because you have the internet, like it almost feels like everyone in the whole world are these like David Goggins discipline monsters who are just getting up at 4, running 100 miles. This is my morning routine. And I'm always trying to be that guy. And I don't do it.
But I think it's impossible because you're shooting for the stars.
But not even that. Like the only thing I do consistently is drink green tea in the morning.
Well, that's a good.
that's great.
You
Matcha
could
green
could
tea.
have a whole
Yeah.
party
It.
and everyone follow you because you drink green tea in the morning.
Yeah.
That's a routine.
That's
Can
wild.
I ask you a question, Sage Pearl?
Yes.
Because I really need
Sagacious
to
I
ask you.
like that title.
Because I have been inspired lately, about, because
Can I just say something about the men in the room? They're pacing. Stop it.
Yes, stop it.
Who do they think they are? They think that when the clock strikes 40, they can start pacing.
There are
Yeah,
3
you-
men
you-
pacing.
Yeah, they start pacing
Yeah,
around.
no pacing. I have something important to ask my sister.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
let's go long.
I've been inspired lately that maybe I should get up earlier and do my workout early and do like stuff, before the world gets up. Maybe like get up at 6. Yeah. Instead of 6:30. I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe 5:30 or something like get up then. I normally get up at 6:30 or 7, you see. But then I think to myself, isn't the extra little bit of a sleep more important?
I will answer that
Yeah.
since you do want my sage, and I'm sure you got your own
Yeah.
reasons. I think because you have an opportunity in the mid-morning to do your
Yeah.
workout, that's better for you, and I think sleep. Some people do not have that
They don't.
opportunity. They have to go to work or they're doing other things.
Yeah.
I would think that it's best then to get up a bit earlier and at least strength train your body, but don't do it super long because that will be super cortisol. So do a short workout.
Right. I think that's good, Sage Pearl. And I want to say that it reminded me.
So you
that,
don't need to get up at
for sleep
4.
hygiene, which I hate that word. Is
Hygiene's
don't do revving workouts, big workouts.
In the night.
3 hours before bed. Like once afternoons come, you should only just do things like are like walking and stretching. And
Yes, but what if that's your only
I know if it's
window?
your only time, well then go ahead and do it. But they say that it does mess up
But what
the
you
hormones
could
of
do,
sleep.
and don't tell me it did nothing for you.
That's
But
why
there's
try and wake up in the morning earlier. Go to bed earlier.
They're
and then
still
wake up in
pacing,
the-
which means we need to go. But
Yeah,
there
the
is a
blooming
lot
paces.
of there's some studies that show that after a workout, if you get on the floor and put your legs up on the wall for 5 minutes, it really decreases cortisol.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that, if you're going to work out in the night, I would try that.
Yeah, I would try that.
But we must go because no
That's-
matter, even though we said stop pacing, they're still pacing. It means that there's
no,
nothing
no.
left.
They're actually, none of them are sitting. They're standing.
They're all
too.
standing over us.
It's like,
It's like big gone.
yeah, they're about to escort us out of the building.
See you guys.
Bye.